In this segment, I will be discussing how to build value in the service process. Before we begin, if you have not done so already, please download the documents that go with this segment. I would like to start off by telling you about a study that was done by J.D. Power & Associates. J.D. Power found that vehicle owners who report experiencing a personal connection with their dealer service advisor are far more likely to return to the dealership for future service, spend more money during service visits, and repurchase a vehicle of the same make. Among vehicle owners who report a sense of connection to the dealer's service advisor, 70% say they would definitely return to the dealership for work not covered by warranty. In addition, among customers who feel a personal connection to the dealership, approximately 46% say they definitely will repurchase a vehicle from that dealership, compared with only 15% among customers who do not report a personal connection. Customers who feel a personal connection to their service advisor also spend a much larger proportion of their annual service expenditures at a dealer facility than those customers who do not feel connected to their dealership. According to Tom Gower of J.D. Power & Associates, when dealer service staff take extra time and energy to connect with customers on a personal level, for example, by calling customers by name, treating them in a friendly and courteous manner, and being honest and upfront about the work that is required in a vehicle, it inspires increased feelings of trust and loyalty in the dealership. This can translate into repeat business for the dealership, not only for vehicle maintenance and repair, but also for future vehicle purchases. As you can see, customers who have a personal connection with their service advisor are not only better service customers, but also better sales customers as well. Keep in mind, I define better as more gross profit, higher customer satisfaction, and more repeat and referral business. So, the question becomes, how can you, as a service advisor, develop a personal connection with your customers? Well, I'm going to tell you. If you want to have customers feel so connected to you that whenever they come in, they just throw you their keys and say, fix whatever it needs, then you need to do a few things. You will have to do all of the steps in the service process. Not only that, you have to execute these steps exceptionally. If you do the entire service process with excellent execution, you will add value to the customer's experience, which will result in a personal connection with that customer. Excellent execution of the service process will require you to develop a relationship with this customer. That means you will get to know this customer on a personal level. Doing this will lead to increases in gross profit, customer satisfaction, and repeat and referral business. In our training videos, we will show you how to do those things that will result in a customer who feels a personal connection to you. Before we start to look at the service process, I would like to start off by giving you an analogy that I will refer to quite often in all of my videos. I want you to think of a very nice restaurant in your town. This could be a 5-star restaurant or a great steakhouse like Ruth's Chris. The type of restaurant most of us go to for special occasions. Now, imagine you are at this restaurant. What is it about this restaurant that makes you spend a lot of money for dinner? Most of you will say it's the great food. And I agree, the quality of the food does help set these restaurants apart. However, I think it is more than just the food. At these nice restaurants, you might spend $20 for a hamburger. You might also stay at the restaurant for almost 2 hours. In both of these cases, you will do it without complaint. Now, if I took that exact same hamburger that you are willing to spend $20 for at the 5-star restaurant and put it on the menu at McDonald's, you would not spend $20 for it. Even if it was the exact same hamburger, you still would not spend $20. Why? Because it's about more than just the quality of the food at these 5-star restaurants. What sets these restaurants apart are things like the ambiance or environment, and the great service you receive. The great service most likely involves the following. The maitre d' greets you by name. They have your reservation waiting for you. The waiter fills your water glass before you have to ask. They give you a free pre-appetizer. The waiter puts your napkin on your lap for you. The waiter explains in detail what is in the different dishes. When your food comes out, it's always hot. And in many restaurants, several waiters come out and bring the food out so that everyone in your party gets served at the same time. They always wait until you are finished with your appetizer or salad before bringing out the next course. In addition, many times the manager or chef will come to your table to find out how dinner is. All of these things go into making your experience at these nice restaurants worth the money and the time. These nice restaurants take their process and execute it to its full extent. What they do not do is skip steps. The reason we are willing to spend $20 for a hamburger and 2 hours of our time at these restaurants goes far beyond the quality of the food. It is not only the great process, but also the execution of that process that sets them apart from McDonald's. What does this have to do with the service department? If your service is more like McDonald's than the five-star restaurant, then your customers will not spend $20 for your hamburger. In other words, if your service process and execution of that process is no different than Jiffy Lube, then your customers will go to Jiffy Lube for the cheaper service. Just as the nice restaurants add value in more than just their product, so do you have to add value in more than just the repairs. If you are skipping steps in the service process or executing those steps poorly, then your customers will go to the cheaper service and repair facilities. As I overview the service process, I want you to continue to remember this analogy. Because if you want to be successful, and I define success as having customers who keep coming back, spend more money with increased CSI, then you have to follow the entire service process and execute it exceptionally. Now let's take a look at the steps in the service process. Step 1, appointment scheduling. Step 2, appointment preparation. Step 3, greet the customer. Step 4, vehicle walk around. Step 5, write up the repair order. Step 6, dispatch, monitor the work in process, and quality control. Step 7, make the authorization call. Step 8, active service delivery. Step 9, follow up with the customer after service. These are the steps that you will go through with each of your customers. It is imperative that you execute each step in the process exceptionally. If the appointment process breaks down, it will ripple through the entire process. In addition, you should be the one who does all of these steps. First, the only way to develop a personal connection with your customer is to be involved in all the steps that the customer goes through. Second, everyone at the dealership that comes into contact with your customer or their vehicle affects how that customer not only feels about your dealership, but also how they score your dealership on your CSI survey. Most service advisors' pay plans are based on how well they do on these surveys. In addition, a customer that is unhappy with something unrelated to you, the service advisor, probably won't come back. This will also affect your pay. Therefore, anytime you have someone do something you could do, you are basically giving them your wallet to take care of. If you want to control your own income, then make sure you are executing the entire service process. Each step in the service process has an entire training video devoted to it. In these videos, I discuss what is involved in each step in the process. I also explain and show you what excellent execution of that step looks like. In our skills training videos, you will learn the skills you need to master in order to execute each of these steps in a customer-centered way. You will learn questioning skills, listening techniques, and feature benefit selling, to name a few. It is these skills that will help you create a personal connection with your customers. What I would like to do now is give you a brief overview of each of the steps in the service process. The appointment scheduling step in the service process is where the customer contacts your dealership to set an appointment. In this video segment, we discuss why we want to have customers set appointments, as well as what you need to take into account when scheduling an appointment, like shop capacity. Once again, I said you, because you should be the one taking these calls. We listen to what some of these calls sound like during our role play portion and discuss what information you need to be gathering from the customer. This is a very important step in the service process. If this step is not executed properly, the rest of the steps will be problematic. The appointment scheduling video will show you what you need to do to start the process of having your customers develop a personal connection to you. One step that is often overlooked in the service process is the appointment preparation step. During this step, you put together the information you will need to better assist your customer before they come in. Not only will this help you to be more prepared for their visit, hopefully making it go smoother, but it will also allow you to get personal information about the customer that you can use in developing rapport. A simple example would be if a customer is dropping their vehicle off on their birthday or anniversary. Wouldn't you like to know so that you can wish them a happy birthday when you greet them? In addition, by checking the customer's service history before they come in, you will be in a better position to sell them services that you may have recommended last time or that the customer asked about the last time they were in. In the appointment preparation video, we discuss what you need to do to prepare for your customers and how to do it. Greeting the customer when they arrive at your dealership may sound like a simple task, and it is. However, just because it's simple doesn't mean it's always done correctly. In the greeting video, we discuss the importance of body language and your tone of voice, not only when you greet the customer, but also throughout the entire service process. We will also discuss the concept of everything counts. You will see how everything you do affects whether or not your customer will develop a personal connection to you. In addition, we will talk about how your greeting can add value to your service process. Here's a hint. Greet your customers by name. The vehicle walk-around is the next step in the service process. In this video segment, we discuss the importance of doing a walk-around and how little time it takes to do one. You also get an opportunity to see a vehicle walk-around during one of our role plays. Selling more services, building rapport, communicating with the customer about their vehicle and its service needs, and identifying vehicle conditions that must be noted on the repair order are the reasons you should be doing a vehicle walk-around. And by the way, they don't do walk-arounds at Jiffy Lube. So my walk-around builds value as well. Writing up the repair order is the fifth step in the service process. In the Write Up the RO video segment, we go over the basics of what should be on a repair order and what it should and should not state. We discuss what the repair order represents, and we go over a customer-centered way of selling your services. This will involve the skills you learned in the feature and benefit selling video as well as the consultative selling video. In this video segment, we also cover all of the information you need to gather from your customer and the questioning techniques you should use to do this. The dispatch step in the service process is one that I do not spend a great deal of time on. The reason is that the dispatching of work is very dealership specific. Some of you are set up in teams and dispatch your own work. Some of you have a dispatcher, and some of you use an electronic dispatching system. Therefore, we leave this part of the process up to your dealership to review with you. As for monitoring work in process, in this video we discuss how to keep track of your customers' vehicles when they are in the shop. It really does not matter how you keep track of them as long as you do and as long as your co-service advisors understand how you do it in case you are not around. How you should track quality control of your customers' vehicles is also discussed in this video segment. Once you have determined what the status is of your customer's vehicle, you progress to the next step in the process. Calling your customer to get an authorization to do additional work is the purpose of this step in the process. In the authorization call video, we look at what you need to do to prepare for this call. Yes, there is preparation that you need to do. We also discuss the consultative sales process you should use when calling the customer. The authorization call is one of the points in the service process that directly affects both gross profit and CSI. Therefore, it has to be executed properly. We show you how in the authorization call video. Perhaps the most important step in the service process is active service delivery. Executed exceptionally, this step can not only help you achieve a personal connection with your customer, but it can also make up for any problems that might have arisen earlier in the service process. Active service delivery involves much more than just going over the RO with your customer. Among other things, in this step, you will talk to the customer about future maintenance and set their expectations. You will set their next service appointment, you will verify that all customer requests have been completed, and you will use the delivery to make a lasting impression. The active service delivery is another step that helps you build value in your process. Jiffy Lube does not do active service deliveries. This step also gives you an opportunity to continue to build rapport with your customer, which will lead to your customer having a personal connection with you. In the active service delivery video segment, we go over what you need to do to execute this step exceptionally. Following up with your customer after they have been in for service is an ideal time to continue to develop a relationship with your customer that will lead them to a more personal connection to you. However, if you are not the one making the call, this cannot occur. Follow-up calls to your customers also add value to your process, provided it is a memorable call. Only you can make it memorable. In the follow-up video, we examine the things you need to do and say in a follow-up call to make your customers want to continue to do business with you. Keep in mind, this is not just one phone call. Following up with your customer means keeping in touch with them. To make your customer feel a personal connection with you, however, means making the conversation about something other than their vehicle. In the follow-up video, we show you how to do this. So there you have the service process. Right now you are thinking, how does Doug expect me as a service advisor to do every step in the process? I just don't have the time. I mentioned earlier that I am sure you would like to have more customers that feel such a personal connection towards you that they just throw you their keys and say, fix whatever it needs. Well, how do you think you get these customers? You get them by doing the entire service process. Doing this process allows you to build value and develop rapport with your customer. By the way, how much time do you have to spend with those customers who throw you their keys? That's right, not a lot of time. The time you save with these customers can be used for those new customers of yours. However, if you never do the entire process with a customer, then they will never turn into a customer who feels a personal connection with you. Therefore, if you want customers to have a personal connection with you and spend more money and keep coming back, and you want to control your own income and not leave your wallet for someone else to look after, then you must do the entire service process and you must execute it exceptionally. This may sound like a difficult thing to do. Well, fortunately for you, we are going to show you how.